So one day I was probably really bored and I thought to myself, I really suck at arcade games. So the only logical solution is to make my own arcade games. So the first of these games was block drop, where you drop these blocks here into this capsule and you have to drop all of them in order to win. In order to drop the blocks, I used a raycast that checks if the block is ready to be dropped. Then after that, it destroys that block and drops a block from the gray part. The script for this was extremely messy, looking something like this. I should have used comments. Making the block drop game was sort of simple, but what comes next was truly a nightmare. Enter the keyhole game, which took me an extremely long time. Well, the concept was kind of hard to make after all. Alright, so you have a circle, and you need to spawn coins all 360 degrees around it. How to spawn blocks 360 degrees around a circle. Oh, that does not help. So yeah, I had to look at a random room generation video for this. It basically told me to make a lot of spawn locations and then make the coin randomly spawn at one of them. But this wasn't the frustrating part. You see, for a new coin to be spawned, the keyhole stick must touch the coin and the player must press spacebar at the same time. But for some reason, this did not work. So then after all of that, I just questioned life and this very messy piece of code until an hour later, it decided to work. So I was finally done with my keyhole game, which was the bootleg equivalent of the David Buster's game I would put on the screen. Now my favorite game to make was the stacker game, where you basically have a platform and you have to stack about 15 blocks on top of it in order to win. Alright, so let me just do this real quick. Alright, so now since I'm pretty bad at my own game, I have to explain some things through the scene. So for about the first 10 drops, you get blocks that are this big. But then after that, your blocks are this big. And I should also probably mention that every time you place a block, the block dropper gets slightly faster. There also used to be no drop cooldown, which means this could happen. But yeah, did I mention that if a block hits the side, besides the starting block, you die? It was way too easy to put everything at the side. So out of all 3 games I made, this game was probably the easiest and most enjoyable one. But there's something I didn't show you yet. There's a title screen. Downloaded is in the description possibly, but I don't know if I'm going to put it there. Also, I used very epic music in this video, but I forgot what it was called.